All right, we will go ahead and get started. Hello, I am Tierney Kirtdoll. I am with the Kansas Volunteer Commission, and I have actually moved into a new position. So I was the coordinator for Mentor Kansas, and now I am part of a bigger job handling all the monitoring and the grants for the commission. So it's exciting change. I'm very new to it. So hopefully this time next year, I will be proficient enough to tell you more about it. Thank you, Debbie. So I want to welcome everyone today to our November webinar. It is Kansas Youth Empowerment Academy, and our speaker today is Carrie Greenwood, who is the program coordinator. So before we kick off her presentation, I just have a few announcements and reminders, starting off with the Kansas Volunteer Commission, the vision, which is to empower all Kansans to meet community needs through service. And the Commission's primary role is to provide resources and leadership to support local initiatives that tackle community needs. As the State Service Commission, the Commission directs effective national service programs and provides resources and training to advance volunteerism, mentoring, and civic engagement. And here we are actually wrapping up our mini grant series for 2023. Our last one for the year is for Martin Luther King Jr. Day of Service. And this is, looks like the applications, we still have a few more days to get those. So if you want more information on that, go to our website, which is canserve.org. These mini grants offer eligible entities grant funding to recruit and engage volunteers in meaningful service activities or deliver a service learning activity related to Dr. King. A service learning activity is a teaching and learning strategy that integrates meaningful community service with instruction and reflection to enrich the learning experience, teach civic responsibility, and strengthen communities. Preference will be given to applicants who engage one another or one other community partner in the event's planning, collaboration, or execution. Service activities should engage a minimum of 10 volunteers, and paid staff may not count as those volunteers. So if you have any questions about any of this, feel free to email the commission at volunteer@ksd.org. And again, just a reminder, we have 3 webinar series that we're hosting this year, and we're actually almost to our last of them. So obviously we have today's, and then our next one is December 7th at 1 o'clock. And then we have our volunteer engagement webinar that happens the second Tuesday of the month at 10 a.m. And then our civic engagement series, which is the third Friday. And it looks like we're coming up to our last one on there in November, and that happens at noon. And just to remind everyone, our website again is canserve.org. And if you would like to sign up for our monthly webinar, or excuse me, newsletter, please email us at volunteer@ksd.org. You can also invite us to present to groups that may benefit from the commission's resources, and also follow us on social media. We're pretty much on every platform. If you just find it, or you can find us under Kansas Volunteer Commission. All right, and let me go ahead and introduce our speaker today, Miss Carrie Greenwood. She has a passion for promoting empowerment and leadership for all people, especially youth and women with disabilities. She expresses her passion through her work and volunteer positions. Carrie currently works for the Kansas Youth Empowerment Academy, also known as KYEA, in Topeka, which is a nonprofit organization that works to educate, mentor, and support youth with disabilities in Kansas. She has served as the program coordinator for the past 14 years and previously served as the outreach coordinator for 4 years prior to that. Carrie has also led Miss Wheelchair Kansas Inc. for the past 19 years and currently serves as the president/CEO of this organization. She currently serves as the vice chair of the Kansas Disability Caucus Board of Directors and is the chairperson of the Association of Youth Leadership Forums. Carrie holds an Associate of Applied Science degree in Design Technology from Washburn University. She also is a graduate of the Kansas Youth Leadership Forum, served as Miss Wheelchair Kansas 2004, received the YWCA of Topeka Women of Excellence Award in 2008, was one of Topeka's 2013 20 Under 40 honorees, and was awarded the Judy Hoyt Legacy Award from the Miss Wheelchair American organization. In her free time, Carrie enjoys listening to music, volunteering at her church, reading a good fiction book, shopping, and spending time with friends and family. So we'll go ahead and pass this over to Miss Carrie Greenwood.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm going to share my screen so that hopefully this will work for you guys to see my presentation. Give me 1 second. Okay, are you guys able to see? Good? Okay, perfect. Okay. Thank you, Tierney. I appreciate it. I really appreciate the opportunity to be here with you guys today. I'm excited to share with you about what we do as an organization. I was originally talking with Tierney about looking for volunteers for one of our programs, and she suggested me coming on a webinar and kind of talking about that opportunity. But I also thought this would just be a great opportunity for me to share about what we do as an overall organization. I feel like sometimes people just don't know about us. They don't know what we do. And so that's really what I'm going to be doing today, is talking through what in the world is the Kansas Youth Empowerment Academy. I'm really hoping that some of you maybe have heard of us before, but if you haven't, then hopefully this will be a kind of a quick and good overview of what we do as an organization. Tierney kind of already introduced me fully with that bio, so there's not a whole lot more to share, but I do serve as the program coordinator for the Kansas Youth Empowerment Academy. I've been with KYA pretty much since it started as an organization in 2005, but was even a staff member before that for just one of our programs. So I've been involved for a really long time, and I continue to be involved because I absolutely love what we do. I love our mission. I love our youth. And I'm also a person with a disability myself. I know we're on Zoom, and so you guys can't tell this, but I'm a proud person with a disability. I was born with a disability called arthrogryposis, and it affects me physically. So I am a wheelchair user. I need help with a lot of physical tasks, things like that. But I've had my disability my whole life. It's just kind of a part of who I am. It is something, of course, that I have to work with each day, but it's also, my disability has also given me opportunities that honestly I would not have had without my disability. And so I don't see it as a bad thing. I just definitely see it as a piece of who I was meant to be and who I am. So, but I say that because it does, it plays into the fact that I work for this organization. And so I'm able to kind of speak from the perspective of someone who went through one of these programs, was truly impacted by it, and then wanted to stay involved. And so that's how I kind of originally got involved in KYA, is because I attended one of our programs and my life was literally changed by it. And I haven't turned back since. I'm still involved, and I do currently serve as the program coordinator. So, so that's me. That's kind of just the basics of who I am. And again, I'm just going to kind of go through the Youth Empowerment Academy and what we do and opportunities and programs that we have, but also definitely with a focus on, what mentoring programs we have, and also how you guys can get involved, how you could volunteer if you would like to, just kind of little different opportunities that we have for you or for the youth that you serve. So, so I'm just going to jump in with, where's my mouse? There we go, a question. And I don't know if you guys are able to, I guess you're able to unmute before. So does anyone want to answer? And I know you all probably don't know each other on this webinar. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But what do you think amongst this group that's here? What makes us all different from each other? Can you list anything that you think maybe makes us different from each other?
Different programs and different
Yes.
audiences.
Yeah, different audiences, different programs that you work with. Okay. Anything else that makes us all different? Well, I mean, obviously, oh, different job titles. Okay, there we
Mhm.
go. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, different things that we do in our jobs. I mean, as far as like physically, different eye color, different skin color, different hair color, different sizes. I'm guessing, I'm assuming we're from all over the state. So different areas that we live. I mean, there's a lot of things, of course, if we would start to list everything that makes us different. And I asked that question because what we do at KYA is we talk about what makes us different and we celebrate what makes us different, which I know sometimes is different from what a lot of times we want to talk about. We often want to fit in. We want to be like everyone else, especially if you're a teenager. You want to fit in. You want to be like others. You want to be liked. And so having a disability automatically makes our population that I work with different. It makes me different. It makes the youth that I work with different. And that can not only present some challenges in life, but especially for young people, it also means that they might have some unique circumstances that they need to be served in a way that really addresses those extra challenges that they have. So that kind of relates to this next slide, which is I want you guys to think about something. I want you to picture a youth with a disability that you know. We know, I mean, we're surrounded by people with disabilities all the time. So think about a young person with a disability that you know and kind of get them in your head. And I want you to think about, are they empowered? Do they feel in control of their life? Are they confident? Those kinds of things. That's kind of to us what empowered means. Are they ready for the future? Depending upon how old they are, they may or may not be ready for the future, but something to think about. Are they proud of their disability? Do they feel good about who they are? Are they connected to mentors? Not only mentors, but are they connected to mentors with disabilities who are like them, and can talk to or can speak to, what that looks like to be someone with a disability? Are they involved in the community? Are they out there doing things, giving back to the community? And are they aware of resources? Because there's a ton of resources out there. So, I mean, you guys are kind of thinking about this for yourself, but if you answered no in your head to any of these are the things that we really work on at KYEA. We help youth with disabilities throughout the state to become empowered, to write goals for their future, to feel okay, and not only okay, but like I said, to celebrate who they are, including their disability. We do definitely connect them to mentors in our community across the state. We encourage them to get involved. We encourage them to be active and get out there and do things and be independent. And we definitely pass along resources to them, not only disability related resources, but just resources in general, scholarships, job resources, soft skills, workforce centers, like all these different things that are out there. Kansas Mentors or Mentor Kansas. We pass along these resources to them so that they really truly can live a full life and achieve whatever it is that they want to achieve. And we do that from the perspective of knowing that they have a disability and looking at that and saying, okay, what makes you what extra, not extra things, I don't want to say extra things, but what specific things do we need to address related to all this and related to your disability? So that was just kind of something I wanted you guys to think about so that you would think, what are the needs of youth with disabilities in our state, because that's truly what we go to work every day and what we address. So this next slide is just some pictures of different programs that we've had over the years. You can see, the different youth that we've had, smiling faces, diversity, different disabilities as well. So definitely we work with diverse population. So to kind of start off with, how did we come about? Where did we come from? So the Kansas Youth Empowerment Academy has actually been around as an organization since 2005, but we did start as one program in 2001. So our overall mission is to educate, mentor, and support youth with disabilities to be contributing members of their community. So that's kind of our overall mission. And again, we started as just the Kansas Youth Leadership Forum in 2001. That's when I first got involved. And this was just one program. But after hosting 5 of these programs, it really became apparent that youth with disabilities have a lot that they're needing in our state. That they need to be proud of who they are. They need to get connected to the community. They need to know how can they be successful in jobs and in college and in all these different aspects of life. And it wasn't, we were addressing some of these things in the week-long program, but there was so much more that could be done. And so we decided, the group that was a part of it at that time, that this program needed to become more of an actual nonprofit organization. So in 2005, we kind of got together and asked the legislature for some funding and got, funding from the state to start the Kansas Youth Empowerment Academy, or KYEA. And it was created to house not only the Youth Leadership Forum, but also build upon that and create other programs to empower youth with disabilities in our state. So we serve ages 5 to 25, which is, I know, a large range. I will say that a good majority of our programs really addresses kind of the transition stage of life. So like high school, post high school, that age range, a lot of our programs really have a focus on that. But we also do like presentations and things like that that kind of educate the younger audience as well. Our core and what we really stand for is the quote, "Nothing about us without us," which basically means that if we're going to talk about youth with disabilities, if we're going to create programs for them, if we're going to do all this for youth with disabilities, then they have to be a part of it. Not only a part of it, but at the center of it. So our programs are directed towards youth with disabilities. We are youth driven. Youth are involved in our decision making. Youth are involved on our board. Youth with disabilities are involved on our board. They're in our office. They are our volunteers. They are our staff. To an extent, we do have adult staff as well. But they're the core of what we do. And so we make sure that they are definitely helping guide this organization and helping keep it alive as well. So this is a question that we get a lot, which is, how much does it cost? And there is no cost to all of our programs. We make sure that we raise enough money and have funds to make sure that all of our programs are free to the participants. We don't want that to be a barrier to them being a part of anything that we are doing. So everything is pretty much completely free. I mean, other than maybe some presentations like mileage reimbursement and that kind of thing, but that would be more for the audience and the group that's bringing us in. But when it comes to the youth themselves and them participating, it is all free to them. Okay, so I'm going to kind of go through some of our programs. And the program that I had originally reached out to Tierney, talking with her about, was the Youth Leadership Forum and needing some volunteers for that program for this past summer. And so that's where I'm going to start, because our organization really stemmed from the Youth Leadership Forum. And so this is a program that it's awesome. It's my baby. It's where I started. It's where I came from and what I participated in. And I just absolutely love it. So it's the Kansas Youth Leadership Forum for Students with Disabilities. And basically, it is a week-long leadership training for high school juniors and seniors with disabilities. It is also open to those who are in an 18 to 21 transition program as well. And so basically, they come to Washburn University here in Topeka for a week in the summer. It's I somewhat call it a conference. It is not a camp. We do not call this a camp at all. We call it a forum, a program. But really, when describing it, you can kind of look at it as a conference, in that we do bring in speakers, we have breakout sessions, all that kind of stuff. But then we also have fun activities, which I'll go into here in a second. But really, this week is cultivating leadership, advocacy, and disability pride, and so much more. I mean, there's so many more things that play into this as well, but those are kind of the essentials. We want our young people with disabilities, our up and coming leaders, our current leaders. We don't always want to say they're the future leaders, because they're the leaders of now too. We want them to really figure out what leadership looks like for them and how they can be a leader in their personal lives and also in the community as well. And so, how do I speak up for myself? How do I find my specific leadership skills that are going to make an impact? How do I feel about myself? Am I holding my head high? Do I know the resources that are out there? Do I have mentors? to guide me and to be a role model for me. Those are all the things that we're focusing on with this program. The Kansas Youth Leadership Forum has been serving students for the past 23 years. And in those 23 years, we have had 489 youth who have come through this program, which is really crazy to think about since I was a part of the very first group that we are 489 people later. And we are still going strong and still serving youth in our state every summer for this program. These are all 20, we skipped 1 year for COVID. So now I always have to think, how many years of this do we actually have? But all the years that we've had the Youth Leadership Forum, these are all the group pictures, and that is a lot of young people who are, many of them, not young anymore. They are adults. They are out there living their lives, doing amazing things. They are independent. They have great jobs. They are serving as leaders in our state. And so this is just, an example of our whole group of alumni that have come through this program. So what actually happens at this program? Well, a lot of things. It is a whole week. So we have large group sessions where we bring in speakers on different topics like leadership, advocacy, disability history, assertiveness, goal setting, all those types of topics. And we also have our youth go into small groups as well. And those small groups give them the opportunity to have discussions, talk about, just different topics that they want to talk about, kind of process the large group sessions, talk further about the topics that were mentioned in those large group sessions. Those small groups are facilitated by our volunteers that we specifically pick to be there for that week and guide the youth, but also know when to step back as well and let them lead and let them kind of facilitate the group as well. Each delegate, as we call them, completes a personal leadership plan throughout the week, which is a goal plan for their future, where they write down 5 goals they have for the future and the steps that they're going to take to reach those, a timeline, resources that can help them. So we really want them throughout this week to focus on, what do I want my future to look like? What goals do I have? Not only in employment, in post-secondary education, but also in other areas of life. So my health, my independent living, hobbies, relationships, like all those different areas of life, we want them to be writing goals in all those areas. And so we don't tell them what their goals should be. We just listen and help them to kind of write that down and get it in a plan and come up with steps to reaching those goals. Each small group also creates a banner. So we really focus on kind of that group identity of not only the large group identity, but also in your small group, what do you stand for? What do you have in common? All those kinds of things. And so there's a couple of pictures here that are showing some of those different things that we do throughout each day of the forum. And of course, they're teenagers, so we have to have some fun as well. It's not all learning. The learning is important, but we also have a lot of fun. So we have a barbecue, we have wheelchair basketball for all of the participants, not just those in wheelchairs. We have a day at the Capitol where the youth are able to do a mock debate in the Senate chambers. They get a tour of the Capitol. Typically, they get to meet the governor as well. We have a mentor luncheon, and that's one of the biggest pieces of mentoring that happens that week, which is where we pair each of our delegates up with an adult who works in the career field that they are interested in, and they have lunch sitting next to each other. So it's a formal lunch, but each delegate sits next to their mentor and they have conversation. They're able to get to know each other. They learn about the job more to kind of see, is this a good fit for me in the future? And then we hope that after that, they will go on to continue that mentoring relationship after the mentor lunch. And that doesn't always happen, but we definitely hope for it and we encourage it and we kind of provide that support if they want to continue to stay involved with their mentee. We have a couple different resource fairs. One of them we call a real life affair, where they're really learning about the real life, what that looks like, how much it costs to be in the real world, things like that. We have a talent show and we have a dance. So again, it's a lot of different things going on throughout the week, and it's so much learning, but it's also so much fun as well. And a big part of this week is the participants getting to make new friends, getting to meet their peers with disabilities, but also, having volunteers with disabilities who can also serve as those role models and those mentors. A lot of our speakers have disabilities, not everyone, but we definitely are creating those mentor connections through having the people involved in this week. So So as far as a youth getting involved in this program, there is an application process. We have an application that's about 4 pages long. It's not really that complicated though. I know that sounds like a lot, but it's not really that much. It's basic information about themselves, the things that they've done, how they've been involved in their school or their community. They do have to write 2 essays, which can be written, video, or audio. And then they have to get 2 references to fill out forms. And so they take all of that and they send it in to us. They are each interviewed by a local interview team. And then from that, every summer we select 20 to 25 delegates to be a part of the week. That's kind of what our budget allows. But it's also a good amount for, having a good amount of support from our volunteers as well, which is really important to us. So that's kind of how a young person would go about getting involved in this program. So who can attend? I kind of already said this, but they have to live in Kansas. They do have to have a self-identified disability. It's not anything where we have to have a doctor's note or anything like that. They just have to be self-identified as having a disability, junior or senior in high school as of December 31st, or enrolled in an 18 to 21 transition program. And they have to have demonstrated or have an interest in leadership in their school and or their community. Now, when I say that, please remember that leadership can come in so many different forms. Oftentimes, we have people who think of leadership as that student that is at the front of the class and they're the president of every club and they're outgoing. And that's great. And we love those youth too. And they are definitely eligible to apply. But leadership also can come in other forms, like someone who maybe is quieter, but they have goals for the future. Or maybe they're really helpful, or they're really good at asking for help, or they're really positive, or maybe they are someone who is a little bit quieter, but is really good at embracing new opportunities and things that come their way. So just know that leadership can look like a lot of different things, and especially for youth with disabilities, it can definitely look like a lot of different things. And so if you know someone who fits the other 3 areas, I say just give them an application. And through that process, we will kind of determine, who is qualified and who fits what we're looking for this program. Again, there's no cost for this program. We pay for everything involved, or we raise money to be able to pay for everything involved. And we can also help with transportation if it's needed as well. And of course, this is a statewide program. So oftentimes we do have youth that need help finding transportation to get to and from the program. We provide all accommodations that are needed for any type of disability. So large print braille and sign language interpreters, personal care attendants, a nurse that checks in the medications, accessible rooms, transportation. We also have support we have volunteers there who can help with like reading things or writing things, or even just understanding, kind of the different things that we're going through throughout the week. They can break it down for them. So any kind of support that they need, we do provide that. So this is the part that I really, why I wanted to present today. There's multiple reasons, but this was a big one, which was to really spread the word that every summer we cannot do this program alone. And so every summer we look for volunteers to be a part of the week, commit that week to the program, and really come and support the youth and be the support system for them while they're there. Part of that is helping with the small groups, helping keep the youth on track. Just also just kind of being their cheerleader, helping them, figure out those goals and things like that I talked about before. So it is a week-long commitment, which I know is a lot, but I promise you that it would be the best week of your life. It is, you gain so much fulfillment from volunteering at this program. You gain an understanding of the disability world, the disability community, the disability movement. Our volunteers honestly gain just as much, I think, as our youth who come to this program. You gain a new family and you gain a new experience that you truly will take with you, and you'll want to come back every summer because it's so amazing. But you'll see that this summer's forum is July 15th through the 20th. So those are our dates, and it will be at Washburn University again. So just something to think about. Our volunteer application is on our website, which I'll get to that here in a bit so you can see what our website is. But I encourage you to think about this, but also to spread the word. If you know someone that loves youth with disabilities and would want to volunteer, please pass them our way because we are always looking for fantastic volunteers for this week. More pictures. I just like to show pictures because I think it really conveys the happiness and the variety of things that we do in this program. Okay, so that's the Youth Leadership Forum. That is just one of our programs. Another one of our programs is called Faces of Change. Just checking my time here. Faces of Change is, I'm not going to go into as much depth about it, but whereas the Youth Leadership Forum is beginner's leadership, it is kind of like Leadership 101. Faces of Change is like Leadership 102. So it's the next step. It is advanced leadership. And it is, well, here. So, yeah, so it's an advanced leadership training. It is for youth who are ages 18 to 25. So the age range is a little bit wider on this program. And we're looking for those youth with disabilities who are looking to further develop their leadership skills. These might be youth who have already had some leadership experiences and want to expand upon that, want to learn more about in-depth leadership, like community service, finding your passions, things like that. And this is not a week-long program. It is 7 monthly weekend sessions, and they're held at a hotel in Topeka. So it's a little bit more of an adult I mean, it's not an adult program, but they're staying in a hotel, which is a little bit different than a college campus. And there's a little bit more responsibility placed on the participants of this program. So again, we have small and large group sessions, we have presenters, we have hands-on activities. There are opportunities to really practice professionalism and speaking skills. And each participant works on a community change project, which is a topic, an issue that they feel really strongly about and that they want to work on. And then they take that project and they work on it throughout the duration of this program. So again, this is Leadership 102. So there's, more intense topics that we're talking about, like passion, authenticity, values, communication skills, learning to lead from what we call the front, the middle, and the back, or the front, the side, and the back. And really talks more in depth about creating change in your community. So again, who can participate? 18 to 25 years of age, must live in Kansas, have exhibited leadership skills, and want to enhance those skills. And also, as I said, it is the next level of leadership training. So high expectations are placed on all participants. So it's a fantastic program. It is a very in-depth program. So it is for those youth who are a little bit more advanced, but it really does teach them about what leadership truly looks like when you're wanting to lead, not only in your own life, but out in the community as well. This does have an application too. We're not currently recruiting for a class for this right now. We're working on something else with this program, but I would say that definitely in 2024, we will be looking at recruiting for a new group of youth to come through this program. And of course, as always, all of our applications are on our website. So Faces of Change is on there as well. Something else that we do a lot of workshops at KYA. So one of the series of workshops is called My Life to Live. And this is where we take one whole day in a certain city in Kansas, could be anywhere throughout the state, where we gather youth with disabilities in that area and we teach them about a topic, one specific topic throughout that entire day. So it is a workshop. And the topics can be surviving high school, or Now Hiring, which is an employment workshop. It's My Life, which is all about living independently. How do I live independently? And we have one that is Relationships 411, which is basically learning how to have safe and happy relationships in your life. So again, whoever invites us in to do these workshops, they can pick whatever topic they want. And then we host the workshop. We plan it, we bring in the speakers, we facilitate it, all that kind of stuff. And again, this can be done anywhere in the state. So this is another program that we have available. We also right now have a great partnership with what is called Pre-Employment Transition Services, or PREETS. And this is where we take a whole day it's basically our employment workshop. So They bring in the youth, and we teach employment to youth with disabilities. So how do I get a job? And how do I keep that job? So that involves a whole bunch of different stuff, which you can see on the screen, includes a panel, discussions, uh, mock interviewing, resume writing, how to apply for a job, games. We play games, we have candy, we have all this fun stuff throughout the day, but we also do it in a way that is very interactive so that it means something to them. And they're really taking in, how to truly be successful when it comes to work. We do have a specific mentoring program that basically connects youth with disabilities in our state to mentors in the community. So this means that a youth with a disability in our state can come to us and say, I really would like a mentor, and we will help them to find a mentor. So that could be any area of life. So they might come to us and say, I'd like to meet a firefighter. Maybe that's their interest. Or they might come to us and say, I don't know anyone with my disability, and I'd love to meet someone with my disability, and we will help to find someone for that. It could even be just, a supportive person in their city. Maybe they live in a small town. Um, that would be a little bit more challenging for us to find, but we would definitely work to do that. So it's really whatever they need, and then we work to find a person who's willing to mentor that youth. And we're always looking for mentors for all of our programs. So if you're ever interested in being a mentor as well, please feel free to contact me and let me know. We like to build kind of our mentor list so that when we have these opportunities come up, we can kind of look to our list and see who we have as our connections. We also do empowerment planning. So if a youth wants to write a goal plan, they can come to us and we will sit down with them and help them write a goal plan for whatever goal that they have. They will write down the goal. We will help them to figure out steps to reaching that goal, resources that can help them reach that goal. And then we also follow up with them to make sure that they're working on the goal. Or if that goal has changed, we will update it and we will support them in, their work to reach that goal. So that's what we call empowerment planning. We also do presentations in the community throughout the state, really. We will go anywhere to do a presentation, and we will adapt the presentation to any audience. So we have presented to all groups you could ever think of, anywhere from pre-K children all the way up through seniors, as in like seniors, like elderly seniors, and everything in between. And again, we really adapt our presentations to the audience. So the topics that we present on are listed here. We can do any of these, and that is disability awareness and etiquette, disability history, advocacy, goal setting, self-esteem, youth leadership and empowerment, employment soft skills, sexual health, making a good first impression. And if there was something that was outside of this list that someone wanted, we would, make sure that we would be able to present on it. If not, we will give a suggestion for someone else. But if it's within our realm, we will present on it. And pretty much our presentations are free, other than if we're traveling to another area, we would probably ask for mileage reimbursement, that kind of thing. So okay, I'm almost done, I promise. So just other services that we provide. We do have youth volunteer opportunities. We can help advocate for youth if they're needing like a support system for that. Passing along information, passing along resources. There is just so much out there for youth with disabilities, and a lot of times they don't know about it. Their parents don't know about it. And oftentimes even like their teachers don't even know about it, which is kind of sad, but it's the truth. And so we really work to make sure that our youth know what's available to them and know what's out there to help them. We do provide a lot of peer support. We don't do counseling, we don't do case management, but sometimes sometimes there is a little bit of counseling that's going on in our office. We do call it peer support though, as far as just supporting the youth and encouraging them. We do have an e-newsletter. So if you'd like to stay on top of what we're doing as an organization, you can go to our website and you can sign up for our newsletter. It is basically just 4 times a year that we send it out, and it comes through email. So pretty simple. We are on Facebook if you want to, have another way to reach us or kind of keep up to date on what we're doing. We have a Facebook page. And of course, our website is full of resources as well. So last but not least, how can you guys get involved? Well, refer your youth. I know you guys have different programs that you work on. And so if you know youth who would benefit from any of these programs, please pass the word along to them. All the information about what we do, again, is on our website. So you can find it there, all the applications, that sort of thing. The only way to get the word out is for people to spread the word. So please refer your youth. Volunteer. Again, that was one of my biggest points of wanting to be here today, was to really encourage you guys to think about volunteering, or at least to spread the word that we have volunteer opportunities. And they're really awesome, especially the Youth Leadership Forum. Volunteering for that week is an experience that you would not forget. Spread the word, book us for a presentation. We're always looking for new partnerships and things like that. You can always donate if you feel like you want to donate to somewhere. We're always looking for donations. Biggest thing I could say is empower your youth. And that just means youth with disabilities are fully capable of living full lives, and we want them to know that. And so it's all about us spreading that message that, okay, you have a disability. Great. That's the basis, right? But from there, what do you want your life to look like? Are you proud of who you are? What do you need to be successful? And so if we can really start to have high expectations of our youth with disabilities, that's going to change their life. And it starts with people like us who are working with youth and can truly spread that message. So if you can accomplish nothing else on this list, please make sure that you're working to empower the youth that you work with. Okay, I think my last slide is just contact information, which I see has been put in the chat as well. So this shows where we're located. Our office is in Topeka, but we do travel throughout the state to do different things. That's our phone number, our website, our Facebook page, and then my email is at the bottom of the page. If you'd like to contact me directly, you're more than welcome to do that. So I'll just kind of leave that on there. I know I probably went over my time. I'm so sorry. I don't know if there's time for questions, but I'm happy to answer any questions if you guys have them.
I have a question for you, Carrie.
Yes.
Um, Regarding the leadership forum, and do you conduct any pre-screenings for your volunteers before the event? And can you kind of speak to that or what that may look like?
Absolutely. Great point. Yes, we do. So the process to becoming a volunteer is that person has to fill out an application, which is, again, their basic information, why they want to be a volunteer, that kind of thing. Um, and then on that is also 2 references that they have to write down. So once we get that, if they're new to the program, we do a phone interview with them just to kind of get to know them more, make sure they're going to be a good fit for the program. And then if they're selected, we do background checks on them. Actually, we pretty much we do a child abuse and adult abuse background check when they submit their application. So that's from the start. And then if they're actually selected, we will also do a KBI, criminal history check, and a sex offender check. So those are kind of the background checks that we do on our volunteers. And then if all of that is clear, of course, and we feel like they're a good fit, then we would select them as a volunteer. We also do some training ahead of time as well. We do some training on Zoom, and then we do a lot of training when we get together in person as well. So I hope that answers your question.
No, it does. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Any other questions I can answer? Thank you, Debbie, for what you said. I appreciate that. Okay. Well, again, you guys know how to reach me now. You can feel free to go to our website or send me an email or give me a call anytime. And I would be happy to talk with you more about our opportunities, get you involved if you'd like that. Or, again, just feel free to pass the word along about what we do, because that helps us a lot to not be a best kept secret. We don't want to be a best kept secret. We want people to know about what we're doing. So thanks for the opportunity to be here today. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I thank you guys, and I hope this was good information for you.
Yes, I'd like to elevate what Debbie said as well. Thank you for all the work that you do for our state, for our youth in the state, and specifically our youth with disabilities. It is wonderful and very much empowering work. And so I look forward to hopefully figuring out if we can get some volunteers for you this summer,
Yeah.
and because I'd like to really see what this looks like in person, because it sounds
Yeah,
like a wonderful program.
absolutely.
So with that being said, I think we're good to wrap this up. Again, please feel free to jot down Carrie's information and reach out to her if you have any questions. And I want to say thank you to everyone who was able to join us today. And I look forward to seeing you at the next one. All right. Take care, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.